right, continuing on AWANI, we're going to talk about on property sector, and a delay in any construction or property project has become a common situation in Malaysia that involves contractor, client or consultant may face. And the industry is aware of the causes and impacts of delaying the construction. However, a little to no effort has been made to reduce this phenomenon. And Malaysia is a developing nation with a lot of upcoming and ongoing development projects. So to discuss further on this issue, we have two of the right authorities joining me in the studio right now, which is on my right is Jiun Chiet Ng, founder and CEO of NiuAce, and on his right is Tan Lutun, the Chief Technology Officer of NiuAce. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Good morning.
And perhaps we can start with what is the reality of property and also construction industry in Malaysia, JC?
Okay. Actually, at least because as we know in the construction and property industry, we actually can segregate it into three phases. One is we call it pre-construction phase. During the pre-construction phases, because we know that it's actually when the drawing, they will always keep changing, and then the client will need to get a lot of the permit from the local authorities or the government agencies. We know all this process is actually time-consuming during the pre-construction phases. Then after that is during the construction phase. So during the construction phase, we know that when you step into the construction site, a lot of unforeseen scenario will be happen. So okay, this is the first. Second, something we know that nowadays all the construction site is actually facing the labor shortage. Okay, then next is in the construction site, people normally is lack of communication, because why, you know, the construction site is very big. So from every time when they want to communicate, actually is quite tough. Then lastly is another, we call it post-construction stage. During the post-construction stage, they will need to certify we call it the final account. So when to certify the final account is also take time. So if the final account is not approved yet, it will also affect their working position, this kind of thing. So that's why all these factor is actually will cause the delay of the construction.
So Lutun, as of now, what's the figure or statistics on these delayed projects or constructions?
Okay, the delays is actually, we can have many ways to measure on the delays, because as we know that construction is actually a very complex, complicated industry. Okay, it involves a huge investment. It's also actually involves many stakeholders like the consultant, main con, subcon, and also those specialists. Okay, so a project could take times. Actually, like a small project can be like a landed property takes 2 years to 3 years, and then the integrated one will be take 5 years. Then normally a lot of property developers will split into the multiple small project. Okay, so every stage it could cause delays. Okay, and actually the delays will need to be relies on the monitorings that we are looking at. Yeah, that is where NiuAce is actually solving the problem on the helping developers on monitoring to measure on the delays that happens day to day on the operations. Yeah, different stage could have a different measurement on the delays.
If I could read some facts here, it says that with over 9,114 projects reflecting the vibrancy of our nation's advancements, and however, the unfortunate reality is that significant number of these projects have been plagued by delays, with over 141 identified cases of recent data. So maybe JC, can you lay out all the primary factors that causing these delays?
Okay. Like what I mentioned just now, the causing the delay, the main reason we found out throughout we implement the system to the industry is the lack of communication. Because to carry on the project is not only the construction site, it will also involve the back office, it will involve the consultant, involve the government agency every time. So if you can see, when involve every party here, if do not have a centralized system to let them easy to communicate, then will cause the lack of communication, like what I mentioned. When the communication is lack of communication, then will cause the delay. This is the first. Second, when to obtain the approval. Okay, every time when they want to do something, they will need to obtain approval. nowadays, still a lot of the company actually is using, we call it is a manual way, using paper. When you want to do something, you need to imagine if you want to obtain 8 to 10 signature, it's very, very tough. So when we have the system, you can obtain the approval within a second.
2 seconds.
Yes, it's very fast. From our own statistic, we found it's actually 90% time saving for the obtained approval side. Yes.
But does this lack of communications differ for each phases from different projects?
Yes, same. Actually, regardless is the residential or commercial, lack of communication is actually happens. It's actually happen. Yeah.
Lutun, can you explain how does NiuAce helps with this, all the delayed projects and also lack in communications?
Yes.
How do you manage all these problems?
Yeah, sure. So in NiuAce, as a technology providers, actually we always believe that one of the key factors will be the lack of monitoring. And monitoring is actually relies on data. Okay, some of the common challenges that facing is actually ensure the accuracy of the data and real time on the data, and also how to make the data visibility to the management. Okay, so in the NiuAce, we actually have built a full suite of the solution and the system to assist the players to capture the data in an accurate way, okay, in real-time methods.
Yep.
And actually, we have an interactive dashboard to be presented to the management, to the stakeholder, so that everyone have a better monitoring on the data. Yeah.
What are specific features that NiuAce have that is different from other existing solutions in Malaysia?
Okay. NiuAce, we implement, we call it is an end-to-end solution. Why we call it end-to-end solution? Like in the beginning, I actually mentioned that the construction stage is involved pre-construction, construction stage, and also post-construction. So during the pre-construction stage, we do have we call it project management modules, which can cater the pre-construction stage. Then after that, during the construction stage, we do have the tender management, contract management, to cater the construction stage phases. Then after that, during the post-construction stage, we do have the defect management and also we call it site inspection module, which is we call it end-to-end solution. Because nowadays in the market, we found most of the system is actually piece and parcel. So when piece and parcel, people is you actually create the difficulties to the user, because why you need to log in to different system, okay, to use it. But now in NiuAce, actually, you just need to one login, you can settle everything. Okay, so this is the main we call is our own unique selling points for NiuAce. This is the first, and then second is we actually quite proud of our we call it bill of quantity, the BQ creation. A construction project normally involves bill of quantity, a stack of bill of quantities about 500, 600 pages. But now we successfully to digitalize these 500 to 600 pages BQ into the digital format. So when the client want to call the tender, they're easy to set up their tender. And then those tenderers actually easy to fill up the tenders. Okay, so when the tender is closed, the tender committee, when they want to do the tender comparison or do the tender analysis, is within a fingertips. Yeah. So these are our key selling point. And also we do have, we call it is the audit trails. So these audit trails is actually keep tracks every step by step. So when you keep track every step by step, it creates the trustability, okay, and credibility to the project, because we know that nowadays construction need to be in transparency. Yeah. So this is our unique selling point.
So Lutun, as a solution provider, NiuAce as a solution provider, how do you constantly make sure that all the needs and requirements from not just the investors but also the customers is being addressed? How do you cater to all that at the same time, and with all the technological investments that we have, you know, as a solution provider, we have to always provide. So how do you cater to that?
Okay, to us, one of the key success factor is actually we are working very close with our clients, okay, which is the industry players, we are the experts. Okay, so this also how we always, when we meet our clients, we always tell them we are actually coming from a technology company, okay, technology background. We don't have the knowledge on the construction, but we are actually come in as a fresh-minded to help the industry. So we are actually more willing to listen, okay, to the consultants and also the industry players, the user, to understand what is the day-to-day process flow. Then we provide a different angle of way to solve the problem, day-to-day problem using the technology. Okay, so that is how we are actually gain the knowledge and then build the function, the features that is specifically for their day-to-day use, operation use, with a fresh mind, without some of the backlogs from the knowledge. Some of the fixed ideas come from the industry, but we actually break through it, and then we use the modern technology, we use cloud computing, we use AI, and we use a lot of others mobile technology that help them to be solve their day-to-day problem, ease their day-to-day works. Yeah.
And interesting that we have this data synchronization. So what role does this data synchronization play when it comes to approaching to project management and reducing inefficiencies, especially errors in instructions of a project management?
Okay, for this data synchronization, because we are actually full suite of the system, we always believe that the right data should be keyed by the right people at the right time at the right place. Okay, that is how we are actually able to monitor on the data, monitor on the progress of the system, on the construction project. Okay, so because of we are full service system, like just now JC did mention that we have the planning during the planning stage, and then we do a BQ by the consultant. All the costing is actually keyed by the consultant, verified by the peoples, and then when they do the call the tender, vendor selection, they actually get the tender rates from all the contractors, which is actually when they participate in the, once they selected the right person to do the work, and then subsequent project ongoing will actually based on the BQ items to be claimed accordingly. So basically you can see the from the budget to the award and also to the final claim is actually end-to-end monitoring. That is the uniqueness on NiuAce compared with the solution at the market. Yeah, we actually track on the very specific line-by-line items. Yeah.
And when we talk about project management that involves many parties, it's important to promote transparency and accountability.
Yes.
So how does NiuAce promote these two, especially when it comes to or relates to project timelines and also budget management? Okay.
Just now, my partner also mentioned, because we are actually, it's the end-to-end solution. So, and the system is actually in the cloud base. So we actually provide the real-time data to all the stakeholders. We need to say from the clients, from consultant to the main con, subcon and suppliers. Actually, everyone can have the real data, real times. Okay, the real data, real time. Why I say so? Because, for example, today if the sites lack of the steel bar, for example, they can make the request using the system. So when they start using raise the request, it's already start record in the system. This is what I mentioned just now, is traceable and transparent. And then even though in construction we know that there's a lot of variation order VO. Okay, VO is something very hated by the client. I can say so, even though government also the same. Okay, so with the system, everything online. So when you want to raise the VO, it's also very easy to justify. Why say easy to justify? Because when you raise the VO, first thing first, you need to get the consultant approval first. So when the consultant approval will also obtain in the system. So as you can see here, everything is in the system. So when you want to run, until the project end or completed, when you want to run the final report, actually it's very easy. Okay, this is the first. Second, how to say accountability? Because since everything is using the system, it can actually reduce a lot the human error. Okay, so we know that construction involves a lot of people. So if every single step you still want to continue with the manual way, I can say there will be a lot of human error. But with the system, with help of the system, the human error will be reduced a lot. Okay. Lastly, we can have the more efficient coordination, because using the system, everybody when they want to communicate, they can through the system as well. There's the chat function in the system, they can communicate everything. And yeah, this is why I mentioned all this real-time data. We have the efficient coordination, and also we call it transparent then it can increase the competitivity. Yeah.
But realistically speaking, like you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, it will reduce human errors.
Yes.
But it comes with a package of cyber threats as well. So Lu Tun, can you explain perhaps in the future potential customers or investors how do we be prepared for all these cyber threats that will affect all the data online?
Yeah, sure. So for we look into security very careful and very serious on the security, especially is nowadays it's a cloud platform, it's open to everyone to access everywhere. So we do have conduct the penetration test, security test by the third-party consultant in a yearly basis, okay, to as a third party to try to access to the system and find the loophole from the system, and then we will be tighten out the security, upgrade the function, the system from time to time. That is the measure that we are actually taking a step ahead by conducted by the external parties. Yeah.
Anything you can add?
I think more or less is what Lun Tun mentioned just now, because we know cybersecurity now is a very hot topic in
Yes.
Okay, so that's why we also take it very serious. So first thing first, we use a very well-known cloud-based cloud service provider. Okay, it's the number one in the world. And the second, we actually yearly we are doing the penetration test. So from the report the penetration provider gives us, then we will do the so we will have the solution to go and overcome the things. Yes.
So far, how many companies you have helped with this solution provider of NiuAce?
Current, you mean our current clients or how?
Yes, success stories.
Oh, success stories, okay. At this moment, we do have about 4 to 5. We call it is our anchor user. Okay, these 4 to 5 actually I can say is the top 10 properties developer in the market.
All right, like looking ahead to the future, what are NiuAce plans and strategies for further enhancing capabilities and also expanding impact in the Malaysian market, especially 2024 and perhaps in the years forward?
Okay, I think now everybody is talking about the AI. So I myself and my partner actually have the idea, have the thinking, say that maybe we can integrate our system with ChatGPT. So anything when this happens, so they can use the system to get the info from the ChatGPT AI. Maybe you can add further more on it.
Yeah, I think for NiuAce, we evolved from web-based from the very early stage to the mobiles, which is allowed the site team, the engineers to collect the data from the project site. Okay. Now if we talk about like big data earlier, and we are presenting the data into a very interactive dashboard for the management. Okay, and in the near future, hot topic is actually the ChatGPT, where actually we how to make use of the huge of the data to train on the ChatGPT model, the AI models, and then in order to how to answer back the question very fast and in a human methods. Okay, for example, we asked the system about like, okay, what are the past price increase for the steel bars, and then he actually able to analyze, okay, from years 2020 is actually this price, and then in 2002, and then it's actually searched in this month. So it's actually able to answer the management, so that to help the property to do planning, negotiations, and also on the negotiation on getting the best price for the building materials.
As for you personally, have you tried using ChatGPT in your daily life?
Yes.
Yes, we ourselves in AWANI, we've used ChatGPT as well for our daily work. So I think ChatGPT or AI in general is very helpful.
Yep.
But considering the scale of project delays issue in Malaysia, right? What broader societal or economic impacts that you foresee that NiuAce can help to give solutions? Okay,
so like we mentioned just now, if the project is delayed, to an investor, definitely to them is their ROI will be reduced, because when every time when the project is delayed, maybe will cost a LED. Okay, so when there's a LED coming in, or when the project is delayed, you will need more manpower. So their ROI will have impact. Secondly, to the contractor, if the project delay will also cost them, maybe will have some trouble in their cash flow, and also will affect their next project. As we know, contractor is project by project basis. Okay, Then the last thing is to the community. To the community, definitely we call it as our rakyat. So if the project is delayed, meaning to say the supply to the market is less. So when the supply to the market is less, will cause our housing price is still high. Okay. So that's why I think government need to have some we call it some governance or some rules or some compliance coming to implement, say that maybe upcoming those property developer or contractor, maybe to encourage them to using the system, because we strongly believe that if you're using the system, it actually can cut off a lot of the human error issue. Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah.
But when we talk of solution provider, when it comes to expenses of each project, does it going to reduce, or actually it's going to we have to inject more resources for that?
Okay, like you see like this. To implement the system, definitely there is a cost. Okay, to implement a system, definitely there is cost, especially when it comes to some client, they want to have some customization or configuration to the system to suit their internal compliance and governance. There will be a cost, definitely. But with the efficient communication, okay, with the efficient communication, if you can complete the project on time, okay, you actually is already considered is saving costs already. Why I'm saying so? Every day when there's a delay, a single day, you will need to pay your labor. Actually, the labor the cost is very high. Second, if the project is delayed, every day not only labor, your building materials, there's a cost also. So that's why we try to using the system. Perhaps in 1 day, the building material we call it just in time. The building material can you just order when delivered to the construction sites, maybe the same day or the next day, already can use the building material. So you don't need to wait you don't need to let the building material stay there maybe weeks or months. There's also a cost because you need a space to store it. That's the thing. Yeah. So that's why we believe that with the system, actually is a cost saving to everyone.
Maybe Lutun, last one, some outlook for the future of construction and property sector. Do you think that inefficiency will reduce, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think now government is actually pushing on the digitalization, promoting a lot of digital in all sectors, as I think definitely including in the construction. As a NiuAce, we actually also working closely with Construction Board of Malaysia, CIDBs, okay, to promote the digitalization. Because I think no matter what kind of system that we are talking about, I think it still relies on the people to really need to try it, use it, and adapt it into their day-to-day operation. So I think we are actually working closely with all those initiatives, with the government, with the association for the contractor to promote this digitalization. So when more people are using system, okay, can adopt system, and then it's actually encourage more big player to also use it. Because nowadays a lot of those developers, they actually also take a step back. Maybe they will also worry about their contractor, their subcon, whether they're able to adapt to these changes or not. But you'll be surprised, they actually, nowadays, a lot of people already know how to use phone, use system. Okay, now even we live the system for them to use it, they're actually willing to use it. After some time, they will actually feel that everything is traceable and tracking and have a records. They're actually more happy to have a system compared with the previous using the manual way, where could be missing some of the data documents. Yeah.
You want to add anything on the outlooks?
It's
okay. All right. I think that's all for today's discussion. And that was JC Ng, the founder and CEO of NiuAce. And on his right is Tan Lutun, the Chief Technology Officer of NiuAce. Thank you so much again for coming to our studio, AWANI. And you can find the whole discussion on astroawani.com and all of our social media platforms.